Hello everyone, I am so happy to see you. Last year I released a video under the title Everything I Made in 2024 and you all seem to really like it, so why not continue? I will show you everything I have made in 2025. Actually, I am very slow at sewing and in DIY in general, and sometimes it takes months for me to complete a project. Last year I was working only part-time, so I had a lot of time on my hands. My goal was to at least make 3 full garments.
Last year, one of my goals were to sew at least 10 projects, and I'm glad I could reach that goal. It was easy to top that number, so this year I don't think it's necessary to double it. Maybe let's limit it to 3 garments, since all I did were small projects like accessories.
So let's see if I managed to achieve that goal. Here is the first item. It appeared at the end of the last year's video.
I will put some bonus item in. I am currently working on another skirt. I will probably finish it next year. My local craft store didn't have enough lace, so I had to order it, and it won't arrive anytime soon.
And here you can finally see it completed. I am so happy the way it turned out. I don't know if I mentioned it before, but it's made from a very cheap fabric I got from the thrift store. It's also the first project where I installed a zipper, which turned out better than I expected. I really like how vibrant the red is. The waistband is secured with some snap buttons. Inside is black fabric since I wanted to save up the red tartan for other projects that you will see later on. Here you can see I didn't attach the waistband all the way. It probably needs some more stitching, but it's okay. No one will ever know since it's on the inside of the garment, but you know it now, so it will be our little secret. I also added some black lace to the hem. I don't know if you can see it, but some stitches are not straight because I was still figuring out how to set up my machine properly at that time. I could probably redo them, but I am too lazy for that. Now to our second item. As you can see, I used the same fabric as the skirt, so it's kind of a matching set with it. This top has a detachable bow on the front and the straps are elasticated. It's a very stretchy top. I used the shearing technique for the first time here. If you don't want to have this detachable bow on the front, you can just tie the ribbon in a bow. That's why I left it long, just for that. Or you can just wrap the ribbon around the detachable bow to hide it instead. So you have 2 options. This top has the same lace as the previous skirt. The straps are attached very good to the base, which is good. But what is not so good is the shearing part. Sometimes the tension wasn't set right, so it doesn't look too great, and I will probably have to redo it after some time. I think for the first ever top this is good enough. Maybe I will insert some pictures of me wearing and styling this top. After those 2 main pieces we need to use up the fabric, and what's a better way to do that if not to create the accessories? This here is just a simple rectangular headpiece. It has some bows on the sides which are sewn in. You can use the detachable bow from the top and put it in the middle if you like. And of course I included the same lace. You can see underneath the headpiece are some little loops of fabric. I don't know what to call them. There you can attach an alligator clip so it holds better and the headpiece doesn't get blown away. It's just a simple rectangular headpiece. It was quite easy to make. Here is the second accessory to that set. It's a mini tie, because I really love mini ties. I made one in black and white last year and I really liked it, so I used the same pattern for this one. And of course the bow from the top you can attach to the tie for the extra cuteness. This tie turned out pretty much perfect. I wouldn't change a singular thing about it. The stitches are nice and neat, the fabric aligns nicely, it's a perfect tie. Next is one more accessory from the same material. I promise this is the last accessory from that fabric. at least for the year 2025. It's a simple lace choker, just a long tube with some snap buttons at the end. Super easy to make. Since I didn't align the fabric print to match the opposite side, you can kinda pick the tartan pattern you prefer for that day. You could also use two completely different fabrics to make it more versatile. Of course, you can use that detachable bow on this as well. You can use the detachable bows pretty much everywhere. Or you can make a lot of them and put them everywhere you want. Now to a different fabric. Yes, this is also tartan, but it's different, believe me. I got it to match my tartan baby doll dress. Plus, since this tartan is so similar to the dress, I replicated it for Nola. This is a simple ruffle headpiece. I stole the idea from NA+H since they released it after I got the dress. Also, you can wear it around your neck. I made these wrist cuffs in the same style. This is also a stolen idea from NA+H, but for some reason they only have the pleather ones. I thought they might release the tartan ones after the headpiece, since they look kinda similar structurally, but I guess not. Of course you wear them around your wrist. It's with snap button closure. It was a bit hard to secure the tight ruffle to the wrist cuff. It kinda looks wonky on the wrong side, but from the pretty side it's not visible, so I think it's okay. I used a simple ribbon for the base of the headpiece, and for wrist cuffs some black leftover cotton. By the way, I totally forgot that I made this choker as well. It's a simple tube with lace, just this time instead of snap buttons I learned how to install grommets. To tie it, you simply put the ribbon through the grommets and tie it. I want to show you some sewing books I got last year. These are some really amazing sewing books called Otomeno Sewing. You probably heard of them before. They all come with patterns and super easy picture instructions. Yes, they are in Japanese, but the pictures are so well illustrated that you really don't need language to understand it. And each book contains from easier to harder sewing projects, so anything in your skill level. At the start there are some Lolita cords and styling options, and in the middle part of the book it shows you how to make all of them. For example, I really like this sailor dress and I probably will make it. Eventually I want to create all of the items shown in these books, but only if I had unlimited time and energy. I mentioned this before, but my goal with sewing was to create my own Lolita dress. Yes, I already made a skirt and the top. All I need to do is combine my knowledge of both and I will accomplish my goal. But I always get sidetracked with other sewing projects. Maybe I like to take the long route to my goals, or maybe I won't know what to do after I reach my goal. But anyways, I really recommend these books. Now I am standing. The cord you see me wearing is all from items I made myself, except for the headband. The skirt was made in the previous year, so 2024. I guess that's previous year. I guess I still need to make black headpiece for myself. Under the skirt I have my handmade bloomers. They are super comfy. Here you can see the black doesn't really match the lace, but I am planning to dye them blacker in the future. It has 2 layers of lace on each tie. And of course there is elastic sewn in each leg to create that bloomer silhouette. For the waistband I used 3 rows of elastic. You can tell the front from the back by this thicker piece at the waistband. And of course, like other garments, as I was making these bloomers, I learned the French stitch. I am very happy how they turned out, even the crotch part lined up perfectly. I was really surprised how easy bloomers are made. They only need 2 pieces of fabric, that's all. I will definitely be making my own bloomers from now on. Now to the blouse. I think it's nice that the blouse was the last project of 2025. It was definitely the hardest project to complete. It's made of 6 main pieces that you had to connect. The idea was so that it fits nicely around poofy Lolita skirts, so I had to modify it by adding triangles to the sides for extra space. I also wanted to wear the blouse with not so poofy skirts, so the best way to do that was to make something adjustable, like a corset. So now you can wear it in tightly fit and Lolita way, if you are going for a different look. Also, the sleeves were kinda short, so I had to extend them. Here you can see the pattern I used. I got it for $2 at the thrift store. It was my first time sewing with the pattern, and I'm glad it worked out, since it didn't come with an instruction sheet. Here is the closer look at the blouse. I added some lace to the cuffs and the collar. I think the inside of the blouse turned out nice and clean. Here you can see the extra triangle. On the back you have two waist ties that come together in a bow. The one mistake I made here was with the lace around the blouse. I was planning to end the lace when it reaches the buttons, since you don't see the lace when you close off the blouse, but I mixed up the sides. You can see here the lace is inside and here on outside. The lace was supposed to end on the waist. It's not too bad of a mistake, but I definitely could have saved up some lace. So yes, that's it. That's everything I made in the year 2025. Laying all of my pieces out makes me realize that it was definitely a tartan-focused year. I really learned a lot from new techniques, new seams, how to install grommets, and how to connect and modify the pattern. So I'm quite proud of myself. Though this is not everything I made, after this I will probably be posting another video of all of the items I made for my dolly Nola. It's quite a lot of things, so I wanted to make a separate video just for her. Anyway, I'm glad I managed to make more than 3 full garments. Yes, they take longer to create than accessories, but it's worth it. I am even more excited to see what I will create this year. As I mentioned, I'm actually pretty slow at sewing. Sometimes I sew a lot, sometimes I don't sew at all. So we will see. It will be nice if I can make something for my fiance. Also, I noticed that making my own stuff, especially Lolita stuff, is kinda simple. I'm sure once you do it for the first time, making it again will be easy. Lolita follows the same silhouette usually. Sewing also influenced me to buy way less. If it's something I can easily make, then I will always opt for that option. Most of the newer dresses I bring into my collection have something I can't really create my own, like fabric prints or embroidery. And it's actually nice to see what you make with your own hands. And you can feel proud telling people, hey, I made this is mine, and one of a kind. So I hope you enjoyed this yearly recap of all of my creations. And hopefully we will see each other again. Thank you so much for watching and bye bye!